beautiful. If you're new to the channel, my name is Zakiyyah, and on this channel I discuss all things home, decor, and style. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you how I'm decorating my home for spring right now, and I'm going to share with you the ways that I do that on a budget. So even though right now in some places there is still snow on the ground, there is definitely a change in the air and there is a thaw coming. And with that warmth comes a sense of renewal and a refreshing energy that we can reflect in our decor. One really inexpensive way to enhance the mood and create a beautiful scene in your kitchen is through using artwork and photography. And all too often, I feel that people don't utilize artwork in their kitchens nearly enough. I think that people shy away from artwork in the kitchen for some reason. Maybe we're just not used to it over the years, but it is an instant way to add drama and impact in your kitchen. And one way to do this on a budget is to frame your own photography. On my kitchen shelf, I used a photograph that I took. I had it printed for $7 and I framed it in an inexpensive IKEA frame. And I use that frame throughout the seasons, and I typically just change the artwork in it. So it's a one-time investment for the frame, and then I'm able to change out the artwork depending on the colors or the mood that I am going for. Another great way to save money on your decor is through thrifting. This small brass vase was one of the items that I thrifted in my last video, and I got 2 of these vases that are solid brass for $1.98. That is a price that you can't beat, and I think this piece just adds such unbelievable style to my kitchen and really elevates my kitchen decor. This wicker basket is another thrifted piece that was only a couple of dollars, and again adds so much character and so much warmth to my kitchen decor. Thrifted pieces are really going to give your home that wow, that unique, that one-of-a-kind factor without breaking the budget. This vase is a piece that I thrifted, but I redid this vase and it gave me an incredibly high-end look for a very reasonable price. If you're curious how the vase looked before, I will put a card up in the corner of the screen and you can take a look at the tutorial where I showed you guys how I redid that vase step by step. I would have easily spent at least $90, $100 if I had purchased that vase new. So thrifting definitely pays off. If you watched my last thrifting video, you will also recognize this tiny little picture as one of the other pieces that I thrifted on my last trip, and I think that it looks really beautiful here. And if I remember correctly, this piece was only about $3. An inexpensive staple that I love to use in my kitchen and in my dining room and really throughout my house is these flour sack towels. You can find them at Dollar Tree, you can find them at Target, you can also find them at Walmart. And the perfect way to use them in the kitchen is to throw them on a hook, throw them in a basket, throw them over the handle of your oven or your dishwasher, and you've instantly softened up the look in your kitchen. I also use these flour sack towels as inexpensive cafe curtains in my kitchen and in my bathrooms. They are really easy to wash and to bleach, and I don't feel bad if I need to replace them because they are so inexpensive. I like to install the curtain rods about 1/3 of the way down the window frame. That way I still get light from the top of the window as well as the light filtering through the towel. And I like to attach them with curtain rings just to sort of elevate them a bit. You could also switch these out with other inexpensive tea towels. Putting your beautiful things that you already own on display is another way to save money in decorating your kitchen. If you have beautiful cutting boards, or if you have wooden rolling pins or beautiful pots and pans, you can leave those out. And next, don't be afraid to use fresh flowers and fresh produce to decorate. You can find inexpensive flowers at so many places nowadays, including Aldi, Trader Joe's. So you can always use fresh flowers. And the way I see using fresh produce is that it's the same as using fresh flowers, in my opinion. If I don't get around to using all of the produce, then it's sort of just like fresh flowers at the end of their lifespan. But typically, I am able to come up with recipes or some ways to use that produce. And if not, it can always be composted. And that's the beauty about using these organic materials. You don't have to worry about something going into a landfill. And there is also the option to buy faux produce, which you will have to pay up front, but that is something that you wouldn't have to pay again because you would be able to use those pieces season after season. And right now we're gonna put our beautifully decorated kitchen to work, and we are gonna bake some delicious blueberry lemon muffins that are perfect for spring. One of the best tips that I could give to anyone who doesn't consider themselves to be a great baker is that measuring your flour is so important. Scoop your flour into your measuring cup with a spoon and do not pack it in. And then you're going to want to use the flat side of a butter knife and sweep off the excess flour. That is going to get you started on the road to success with whatever it is that you're baking. This blueberry muffin recipe has a few more steps than other recipes, but if you follow each one of them, it is well worth it. For one thing, it has a crumb topping, which I love crumb toppings, and I don't know anyone who doesn't love a nice crumb topping. And it also uses freshly grated lemon zest, which adds such a beautiful flavor. And here, I really wish that there was smell-o-vision. I was working that zest into the sugar, and the smell was absolutely beautiful. It smelled like spring in the kitchen. It was so fresh and so bright that it was very, very uplifting. This recipe also uses fresh lemon juice, and this is an easy way to get the lemon juice and keep the seeds in your hand. This recipe does call for eggs, but I am making it plant-based by substituting 2 tablespoons of ground flaxseed and 6 tablespoons of water for the eggs, and these muffins still turned out perfectly beautiful. This is one of the most important steps whenever you are baking, is that moment when you're mixing your dry ingredients with the wet. You do not want to overmix this. I showed this step in real time so you could see just how little mixing it actually takes. And also, since I knew that I needed to fold these blueberries in, I definitely didn't want to overmix. So I'm also showing how little folding it takes to get those blueberries in without making our batter too tough. Just remember that when you're making things like cakes and muffins and cupcakes and cookies, the more you stir, the tougher that batter is going to become. I'm lining my muffin tin with parchment paper cupcake liners, and I'm using a scoop so that all of the muffins are uniform in size and they're going to cook at the same rate. And here I'm adding that delicious crumble topping. These will go into the oven for 13 to 15 minutes, and when they come out, they will be beautiful and lightly golden and so incredibly delicious. Thank you, omgchocolatedesserts.com, for this really, really delicious recipe. If you guys make this recipe, you will absolutely love it. This is the moment of truth, the moment that you break into it and you see that beautiful, delicious, moist crumb and those juicy blueberries and the crumb topping. And I did have to go ahead and take a little sample just to make sure that these were going to be delicious for you guys. So I sacrificed myself and my taste buds to make sure that you guys were absolutely gonna love these muffins. Please take a moment to subscribe, to like, to share, and to comment. Until next time.